episode number 5 of Disturbed Oasis, and what an exciting week it's been. Hello, Sean.
Hello, are you disturbed? Because if you are, this is your Oasis, okay? That's who we are. That's who we be. Hello, Lisa. You've been doing some great work. I appreciate you standing in the gap. I appreciate you doing you while I was on hiatus, sorting out some other things.
No, you were just making a living, that's all. We all have to do that.
Don't we, though?
Yeah.
Yeah, and sometimes we have to take extra measures in the process of making a living, but that's for a premium episode in the future.
Absolutely. So we're starting early this Wednesday because we both have commitments tonight.
Yeah.
But we didn't want to miss this week because we've pretty much settled on Wednesdays weekly now until we can do better.
Sure.
Let's give a quick update on tech first because this has just been quite a challenge.
Yeah. Well, yeah, so this is where it's headed. We have started, thanks to Lisa, she took the initiative, we have started a Streamlabs account. So we will be multi-streaming, and we will be able to we really want to do some split screen interviews. I've got a space where I live to do some streaming. So eventually we want to be doing interviews, and we feel like the best way to do that is kind of like the split screen, being in multiple locations thing that a lot of people do in the podcast circuit. So that's where it's headed. There are a few particular people that we'd like to interview in the near future. We will be reaching out to them, and we'll be updating folks on that and that kind of thing. So we'll be streaming to YouTube. We have a YouTube account now, Disturbed Oasis on YouTube. Yeah, love it. Accomplishment. Yeah.
Yes, I'm excited. What else have we accomplished? All right, Streamlabs.
We're attempting to start a Facebook page, but that seems to be problematic. So, unfortunately, I'm part of Facebook Prime generation, by the way. I joined Facebook in 2004, back when not everyone could join. But only, you had to have a .edu email address to join Facebook back then. Well,
really?
Yes. Facebook was marketed to college kids first.
I didn't. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. I watched that movie.
And I was in college at that time. But they I hate Facebook. I hate it with a passion. They love to mess stuff up. They love to make things needlessly difficult. And for whatever reason, we both created pages in the past through our personal accounts. I have the Get Healthy, Stay Healthy for my holistic health stuff. She has another one for art stuff. But for whatever reason, the same process is no longer working. If people want to give us guidance in the comments on how to make this happen, we appreciate all feedback and help it. But I'm just going to sit down and use the millennial superpower, which is basically YouTube. And we'll figure it out, so I'll figure it out. But we didn't want to delay this pod. We wanted to go ahead and get it out. So we're going to aim to have, we're with Streamlabs. Streamlabs does not only streams to certain platforms, and the two platforms that we both want to be on of the options are YouTube and Facebook. And so that's what, and we might do TikTok and Twitch in the future. But
baby steps.
Yeah, we're phasing it in. I mean, we're not stressing ourselves out about this. That's what we're not doing.
We're not?
No, well, I'm not. And I would like for you to not.
Life is all about some stress.
Well, we're going to build it bit by bit. We're just going to build this ship.
But it's you stress, not distress.
It's meaningful stress.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, all right, he mentioned Streamlabs, which is really more behind-the-scenes stuff that doesn't involve people on a day-to-day interactive basis. But through that, now we have a YouTube channel you can go to, and we really want to get followers. So if anybody can share it, help us, whatever. Because my goal is to get everything off of my personal Facebook. We're going to set up its own Facebook page. But YouTube, you just look up Disturbed Oasis. Is it all one word, or does it matter?
Well, it doesn't really matter, but it's stylized as separate. But you could also, the other thing to announce is that per starting a YouTube page, you start a Google account, which means we also have a Gmail.
That was my next thing. Yeah, disturbedoasis@gmail.com.
No spaces.
Well, I mean, we still have obviously the Halifax Oasis one, but we want to use disturbedoasis@gmail.com. Yeah, no spaces, nothing, just disturbedoasis@gmail.
Yeah.
So that's how we prefer to be contacted. We obviously want to be watched on Facebook until we get our own Facebook page. You have to use mine, and watched on YouTube, and then we'll talk about expanding later. I feel like I'm missing something.
No, I think we pretty much covered it.
No, because we talked about the website last week, which is the Halifax Oasis.
Halifax.
That's written down wrong. It's not .org, it's .com.
Yeah, HalifaxOasis.com. But we got to make some edits to accommodate for what we've done this week. Yeah. So we've got to make some edits there. So just hang with us. We're gonna be updating it and keeping it fresh. But last week we announced that you could contact us through that contact sheet. It would be much preferred to just do Gmail at this point.
It's just easier.
Since we have a Gmail account. So just do disturbedoasis@gmail.com. As we're able to update features on the website, we will. My personal opinion, maybe this is something we can solicit feedback on. My personal opinion is that, like, Disturbed Oasis is this opinion podcast, but then I think we kind of needed a news division as well. It'd be nice to have some real news in this county. And so Halifax.com is, to me,
FACTS.
branded perfectly for that news portion, and then this is going to be our outlet. It's going to be our outlet, you know.
But I think, too, that on that website, we're going to archive all the videos, because we've just now taken everything off Facebook and archived it and uploaded it to YouTube. So everything we've done so far is on YouTube.
Yes.
And that's what we want to do with whatever I was just talking about. I'm overwhelmed.
Calm down. Girl, calm down.
This technology is too much.
Girl, calm down. It's fine.
All these triple verifications. Crap, God almighty, it's annoying.
Well, and these big tech platforms, it's like they make it their mission to change everything every year, and it usually ends up, in my opinion, being a downgrade, you know. And that's just part of the beast of doing what we're doing, and you know, it just is what it is. It's designed to be inefficient, in my opinion. I don't like it, but we just have to roll with the punches.
That's right. You know what I forgot? See that's my apothecary behind me.
Okay.
Where I do aromatherapy. I got a little thing we can
once we integrate
cover it up.
Once we integrate Streamlabs, it makes sense to do the green screen stuff.
I must have it tied. But yeah, anyway, I got a green screen that goes all around here. We're fully equipped, man. We're ready for this.
Yeah, we're ready for this. We're just getting the digital infrastructure together.
But yeah, to me, the most important thing, though, is the remote aspect, which Streamlabs is going to give to us, so that if I want to interview you, you can stay at home and do it like Substack. If anybody's familiar with it, he can be at home, I can be at home, and we can all come together online.
Yeah.
And it'll be a total different look, more interactive, and more informative and entertaining.
Yeah, and no Germans, you know. But I'm just playing. Okay, yeah.
So. Hey, don't touch me, cootie pie.
So start us off. We're gonna go back to DC at the top of the episode, yeah.
Yeah, start with national, and then we're gonna filter down to local, which I think is gonna be quite interesting this week.
Yeah, local's on fire.
Local is on fire.
Yeah.
And he's got some interesting ideas. All right, so DC, what's happening? Okay, you start.
Well, I guess we want to talk about. We want to start with the National Guard, if you want to call it an occupation, or the National Guard becoming part of the policing of DC. And so this week, I actually did watch one of those White House press conferences, event type things. It wasn't a real press conference. It was like in the cabinet room. You know, it was one of those type things, or it was at the desk or something. And
were they presenting holy grails and gold statues and saying, you're the best?
This one, I remember a bust of Benjamin Franklin and Trump making a joke about him not making the presidential cut. But, so...
I don't think I saw that.
The troll in chief. I mean, you know, there's a part of it, you know, at least there are giggles along the way.
Troll in chief.
But
I like that.
Yeah, but at least there are giggles along the way. You know, the president trolled Benjamin Franklin during his event. That's what happened. So, so from beyond the grave, okay? Look at Lisa. And in that process, they have announced, and this we found, and we did a little digging, and we can verify this, that for the first 2 weeks of the what some people are calling the occupation, there were no murders. Now, yesterday there appears to have been a murder in D.C. for the first time in 2 weeks. So it's an interesting debate about, you know, this concept of the sign of martial law, you know, because my perspective is that we've been under martial law for years now, but actually like signifying that in a very visual way, in a very like ostentatious way, and of course manipulating the controversy, which is the linchpin of neo-fascist governance. And so
you talk too fast.
I'm a millennial.
Okay, slow down.
We all talk fast.
Slow down.
Except me for
Too
me.
fast.
Except me for me. But listen
but
fast.
people can't understand you.
Listen faster. Listen faster. This is the digital age.
Down.
We don't have time to go slow.
Okay, so go back to your fascist.
We don't have time to go slow.
Thing.
So we don't have time to go slow. Whoa. So, turn down for what? Turn down for what? But okay, slowing it down. So you now you threw me off. I have my thought here. See, she's a saboteur, but but so neo-fascist governance, this ostentatious, emotionally penetrative agitation propaganda, that's pretty much the whole thing. Like, that's what neo-fascist governance is. That's really the only thing, in my opinion, that distinguishes it from neoliberalism and neoconservatism, is the emotionally manipulative, weaponized, narcissistic abuse to scale. I mean, that's what they're doing.
Okay.
And so this is part of that. Like, this is a signifier of, like, authoritarianism, of, you know, bullying, if you want to call it that. And then at the same time, some people are embracing the lack, the reduction in crime. You know, some people are embracing that. I think it makes for an interesting debate. And I think, you know, for us, I think we're on the same page about what it boils down to is we don't like authoritarianism, and we want to see some of this rolled back.
The lack of crime has been trending downward 31% just in the last year.
Yeah.
So you can't say cause and effect necessarily. And that's with crime and murders.
Yeah.
But what I want to point out to you, Sean, dear, I love you so much, but I feel like I'm a bit deeper on the common person side. And I don't mean common in a bad way. I just mean a lot of people that I work with or deal with or have exposure to or contact with, they're not going to understand a lot of what you said. They don't know what neo-fascism is, neoliberalism. That's why I keep asking you questions, because I want people that I have a daily interaction on. Right now, all they give a shit is, can I afford to buy these cleaning products?
Well, I agree with that.
So I'm not trying to say you're lofty without saying you're lofty.
No, I'm totally lofty. But
I really want to take this down a level. I want to tell you a quote I gave somebody one time.
Yeah.
That part of my success in a past occupation was that I look at it as I have to wear many hats.
Yeah.
I can speak the Queen's English.
Me too.
But I can get down there with the construction worker and speak in the gutter too. And we communicate well. And I don't have any judgment on any level of that. It's just how you have to communicate with people.
Mm-hmm.
I made a joke that, you know, Roseanne once said, I may have said this on here before, Roseanne once said, I'm America's nightmare, I'm white trash with money.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'm an educator's nightmare because I'm white trash with an education.
Okay.
So I see all those levels, and I feel that I'm a good communicator for people, because what I'm here, I hear what you say.
Yeah.
But I also hear, what they're doing isn't right. They're trying to take us over, and we need to do something about it. Or maybe this is something that's been going on all along. I don't know. What's the story? Maybe, you know, that more of a language versus using terms like neoliberalism and and you go too damn fast.
Well, do people understand martial law? Do you think that's accessible language?
Martial law is when the government takes over.
The military takes over the government.
Using the military. Martial law is normally only declared like during times of war.
Right.
In fact, you know, martial law was never declared during any time of war in our history. Did you know
believe
that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe that.
So it's rarely used. But what he's describing is a precursor to it.
Or it's rarely declared. You know, I would argue that we've been under martial law since at least 2017. And that it's covert, and they have not up until 2025 decided that they wanted to go public with it. Now in 2025, we see lots of inklings that they intend to be presented in a face-forward way.
Okay, so how can you describe why without using political ideological vocabulary? I want you to say what you just said before, but bring down the language. When you were talking about neo-fascism, precursors, blah blah.
Okay, so let's
bring it down.
Let's define some terms. You know, I'm an educator, so let's teach some people bougie. Let's just say bougie. Let's teach people some new terms. You know, so neo-fascism in America started in 2015. You know, 2015 with the.
What's fascism?
Oh, okay. So fascism is we have to go there. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So fascism is a style of authoritarianism whereby the government takes over the country through use of the private sector. So they use businesses essentially to execute their will, and then everything becomes like really centralized, and then that's when we associate that. The classic examples of fascism for the 20th century were Nazi Germany and Mussolini's Italy.
And those were extremes, but then there's some that's
Yeah.
not as extreme. Having lived in China for almost a decade, I can speak on that. And that's exactly what happens. The government took over the banks,
Right.
so you don't have a hell of a lot of choice of what you do or what the processes are.
Right.
I learned to appreciate a lot of freedoms we have in this country having lived there.
Right.
And the way they looked at it and justify it, and tell me if this doesn't sound familiar. The government is like our father. They want to take care of us.
Right. Yes.
That's exactly what the normal, commoner, whatever people,
Yes.
everyday people, that's what I'm looking for,
Yes.
would look to justify that because they didn't know any better, because their education's controlled. Those
Right.
poor people, the kids didn't choose their majors, what school they go to. Half of them don't even choose their spouse or life partner. It's so, I always, well, joke, but not joking, from the minute they shoot out of the uterus, they're born to obey.
Right.
And they don't know how to question anything. So we've always said if there was a revolution there, good God, what a bloody one that would be. But
Correct.
look at what Mao Zedong did, the last bad communist dictator.
Right.
Xi Jinping, the guy now, he's also a communist dictator, and that's what they do. Back to the fascism. I'm sorry I
Yeah.
deviated. But
No. I mean, communism and fascism, to me, are two sides of the same coin. Cause,
Yeah,
'cause
I would agree.
communism is where the state actually takes ownership of all the private sector. You know.
But
Right.
the true root, I feel like, of communism was to take care of everybody and make things equal. But it's so perverted by capitalism and greed and whatever. We could go on about that.
Yeah.
But so that's fascism.
Mm-hmm.
When the government takes over by military, but takes over businesses as well. Does this sound familiar? It
Yeah,
should.
yeah.
Now, what is neo-fascism?
21st century fascism, and the distinguishing features are the biggest distinguishing feature is it's much more technocratic. You know, they have, here's a term I'll have to define.
Technocratic. What do you mean?
Oh, technocratic, I have to define that.
Yes.
Oh, God. Oh, my. Okay.
Lofty.
I am bougie. Okay.
Bougie.
I am bougie. Okay. Technocratic is ruled by technocrats. The technocrats, you think like Silicon Valley, think like
Give me an example.
Elon Musk, Zuckerberg, Peter Thiel, Mark Andreessen, people like that.
Bezos, Amazon.
Yeah,
People will
Bezos.
Understand that. He
Bezos,
has
yeah.
such a voice in government and policy now
Right.
because of his tech ties
They
to
all
the
do.
government.
They all do. I mean, that's
true.
one of the
Elon Musk, Tesla.
Well,
come on.
that's one of the big fractures on the right now. It's like the technocrats versus the MAGA base. You know, like the anti-immigrationist MAGA base.
And the MAGA base, would you say, are common people, regular people,
Yeah,
everyday
regular
people?
working people. Yeah.
Exactly. See,
Yeah.
there's a huge commonality that they're throwing so much at to divide.
Yes, of course, because we're all on the same side. I actually recently watched a video that talked about class unity over leftist unity, and I'm there. I came up through the left, but I would consider myself like independent, kind of in the middle now. But what I'm saying is that we need class unity. So across this divide, MAGA people, you might have to befriend a transgender person. Sorry to inform you. And then on the more leftward side, you gotta unpack some of that like classist stuff. You know, like you're gonna have to talk to some rednecks. It's okay.
I won't defend
And-
pedophilia.
Well, no one will. And that's
And what do you think
no
is
one will.
something on the left side that should be more compromising to the right side? Give me just one example.
This is what I would just say is that what I hear a lot of leftist people say is telling Trump voters what they voted for. I would encourage you to ask a Trump voter what they voted for, because there's a big disconnect between what leftist people project onto.
Because communication's gone.
Yeah, and that's everybody's fault. That's everybody's fault. You know, we're all it's your fault too. It's my fault too.
Back to DC.
but-
All right.
okay.
So what you were saying is that you think martial law has been around for a while, but now it's crystal clear that
They're coming out
martial
of the
law may be
closet.
coming because of neo-fascism. I think that's what you were trying to say.
Neo-fascism began. I would, if I'm correct, I think I am. Neo-fascism began right around the time, or right before the time, that the martial law began, covert martial law began. You know, so I would date personally. Depends on who you ask. Some people say 2016. Some people say 2017 for the beginning of the covert martial law. In my opinion, neo-fascism began in America in 2015 with the campaign of Hillary Clinton versus Donald Trump. That was a neo-fascist campaign because everything was so high stakes and everything was so emotionally abusive. You know, the government,
It was a game show.
the reality show that
A reality show. That's it.
yeah, the reality show the reality game show that governs us, that
Yeah.
governs us is emotionally abusing us, and it's doing so all day, every day, and it has
Yeah.
been since 2015. And that emotional abuse is meant to deconstruct our ability to think, and it's meant to divide us further. In my opinion, what they're doing, what they've done in so many other countries, they really want us killing each other because it saves them the trouble. And so if they can gaslight us into doing that, then they win. You know, and that's what part of why, you know, I've raised my hand to be a bridge identity between the left and the right and saying, no, that's not acceptable. You know, and part of, you know, on a personal note, I've always been the type of person that most of my friends are liberal and most of my family's conservative. So it's like, I'm never gonna betray either side.
Slow down again. So
Yeah.
you said you are a bridge identity.
Yeah.
You want to, well, see, that's a buzzword. I want to identify as. So
It's a term from Chicana feminism. Go read a book. Go
you
read
want
this
to be
bridge
a
called
bridge
Back.
between left and right.
Well, and all
you
the
want to-
factions, yeah, between the divided oppressed classes, you know, however they're choosing to divide themselves.
But
let's
that doesn't
stop.
mean giving up something you feel passionate about.
Well, I never do.
Okay.
Yeah, so
And there's
you
been
stand in your ground. You
Right.
assert yourself. But what I keep saying is that
Open
we
to
have
communication.
we have common ground now. We have common ground on release the Epstein
Yeah,
files.
the rich versus the poor. Well,
We've always had that common
specific.
ground. No.
Yeah.
Well, here's what I mean when I
Epstein.
say we have common ground now. We've always had that common ground, rich versus poor, but we haven't always known that, right? Because they're very good at manipulating us into identifying with them. You know, so when you know,
No,
like
shit. I've never identified as rich.
no, identify with the rich. You know, and
No. Anyway.
you're fantasizing about sucking off Gavin Newsom.
Oh my
But-
God! Don't say that. I am not. Jesus.
In my opinion, you are.
That was horrible.
In my opinion,
God,
in my
gee.
opinion, I mean, you know, yeah, so you are. You know, look, we can't identify with these people. These people are not heroes. All these people are shysters. You know.
I don't
So-
identify with him. I just say I admire his courage in standing up and trying something different.
I admire his. I
He's
admire.
nasty.
I admire.
He's nasty. I
know I
never
am.
said that.
Well, yeah, she never said that. No, that's true. But you did say so. Anyway, but so you did say so. Okay, well, dot. So
We're off the DC topic. Back to DC.
I admire Newsom's strategy. He's very
Yes.
shrewd and ruthless.
That's right.
He's very shrewd and ruthless, and he's doing things that work to his advantage, possibly. But I still don't think he has a chance of being president. But
I don't even think that far anymore.
But okay, so but what do we want to talk about? Yeah, so
Well-
here's the common ground: release the Epstein files, stop funding the genocide in Gaza. Everybody agrees on that now.
Yeah.
So we emphasize where we
Well,
agree.
Not everybody, but a lot of people.
Majorities on all sides of the political spectrum. Comfortable majorities on all sides of the political spectrum do not want to see us sending any more money to this war in Israel. Do not want to see us sending any more money, or definitely not troops, to the war in Ukraine. And the majority wants to see the release of the Epstein files. We have these places
Two
of common
commonalities,
ground.
yeah.
Two to three commonalities. And so we have issue points where we can build a critical mass.
It's where you start
because-
building the bridge.
Yeah. So what we have to do is actually show force. Now that's what you have to do. You have to show force of dissent from all of this, and that's the only way forward. So this is where we have to emphasize. And yeah, people are free to disagree. You know, we have 50 states. You know, the original model of this country was more of a federalism model anyway. The states are supposed to have more power than the federal government anyway, as per the original intention of this country. We could have 50 different economic and political models. If California wants to go full socialist, let them do it. If Alabama wants to be totally capitalist, let them do it. And the truth is, we don't know what actually works because we've never lived in an ideal society. I haven't, you haven't, none of us have. You know, that just hasn't existed. So ideology is pointless.
But divided would fall because if they all kept their own revenue generation, red states, a lot of them would fail completely.
Well, that's the theory that is untested. But
Right.
so that's what I'm saying. We call ourselves a great experiment. We need to evolve the
Yeah.
experiment. You know, we need. You know, that's the theory that I don't mess with ideology because I think it's all garbage. You know, I think ideology itself is about division.
I don't think separating is an answer. Or I don't even think
I'm
that's
not
something worth
I'm not
testing.
advocating for that. I'm advocating to a return to the original constitutional order where the
Yes.
states have a lot of autonomy. We would still
Yeah.
share a military. We would still share a post office.
Yeah.
You know, there are certain basic things that we would still share, but that's the federalist model. The federal government is supposed to be the weakest form of government because it's so centralized and because it can so easily become as authoritarian as they are and have been for a long time. I think authoritarianism has existed in America continually. You know.
And we're going to
Yeah.
bring these ideas down to some local issues we're talking about. But let's move
Let's
on
hope
to
so.
the flag real quick.
Yeah.
The flag burning in D.C., that was an upsetting scene.
Hmm.
I don't really see a purpose for burning a flag, but if
Yeah.
somebody wants to do it, I support their right to do it
Of
because I think
course.
it's a model of free speech.
It's the most essential model of free speech because it's political speech and it's expressing dissent against the regime.
And the Supreme Court decided it.
Yeah, they decided it in the past, and now this new executive order is going to set up for a new challenge. Now, I do think that the Trump administration's arguments are novel in this regard because what they're basically arguing is the same thing that you would say inciting violence, the same thing that you would say as the reason why you can't yell fire in a crowded theater. They're making the argument that flag burning incites violence and it inflames both sides. It inflames the side that's against the flag and the side that's pro-flag. It's an interesting novel argument. And the other thing that they're doing that makes it a little nuanced is that what they're talking about is prosecuting crimes that occur around the flag burning. So the idea is that you find in the process of these people burning the flag, you find something else to prosecute them for, and then you make sure they get a year in jail without any chance of repeal or early release. You know, that appears to be the intention of this executive order. I still think, bar none, the executive order is unconstitutional. I think we have to have an immediate Supreme Court case about it, and that they need to rule that this is unconstitutional.
They've ruled everything for them, but
Yeah.
I digress.
Well, they're going to enforce it until someone stops them.
You said you think this, not new logic, but the logic they're using about burning the flag incites violence, therefore it should be illegal. Do you know how much shit out here incites violence?
Yeah, no, I agree. It's a bullshit argument. Yeah, it's bullshit. Yeah. It's a bullshit argument. And, I'm totally on board. This is unconstitutional flatly on its face.
People can wear the flag as a diaper. We're going to arrest them next. People can wear a flag as a I mean, come on.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Where does free speech start and where does it end?
Yeah, and political speech is the most important speech to protect. So I feel the same way about this idea that they're going to, even Congress has gone against the Constitution with this idea that people can't stand up, can't criticize Israel, you know. Like, everybody is trampling on rights now.
And what happens when you criticize? Your house gets searched, like Bolton.
Yeah, exactly. And then you get into the Fourth Amendment, you know, like
right.
that, you know. So it's like, yeah, all this stuff is happening in Constitution, and then let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it a buck. That what happened through Congress is left and right. What happened in Congress is Democrats and Republicans.
Yeah.
They both participated. AIPAC owns most of Congress.
What's AIPAC?
Oh, the American Israel blah 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 blah. It's a lobbyist group that is owned and controlled by Israel, that has special privileges in this country because we're Zionist supremacists in this country, and that doesn't have to register as a foreign lobby group. And because they don't have to register as a foreign lobby group, they're able to buy Congress people, and they own like 98% of them. Like there's actually an AIPAC representative assigned to each congressperson.
So what he's describing is just one of many, many lobbyists. Lobbyists are people who raise all this money, pay off politicians, and get their, I mean, tobacco's done it, Big Pharma's done it.
Yeah.
No, I'm just trying to say that that's a huge problem
Well, people
in
know
politics.
what a lobbyist is, right?
Maybe. I don't know, honestly.
I don't either.
I don't presume anything.
You're right. Now that you're to say it, I work in public education and it's going down the toilet. That's, so yeah, you're right.
Like I said, a lot of most people I come across, and it's not dumbing down, it's just, it is what it is. A lot of people I come across on a daily basis, like I said, their main function is survival.
Correct.
That's it.
That's most people.
Right.
Yeah.
So to explain things in a clear and easy manner that people can understand helps them become engaged, because maybe they can be part of the solution.
I'm sold on the point. I just think that I think in these words that I say, so I'll just need you to, rather than like spazzing out about it, just say, hey, can you define that?
I haven't spazzed. I just said shut up and slow down. Anyway, all right, so we've talked about the flag. Oh, yeah, and does anybody out there really want a dictator? Come on.
We obviously, well, some people do, but most people, we really don't. It's so contrary to American values.
I think anybody in modern USA today that says they want a dictator, they're pleased with what he's doing and want him to be even more dictatory, whatever, that is cult speaking, because that's how Jim Jones got 1,000 people to kill their babies.
Well, and send me whatever you're smoking, because you obviously have the good stuff, But, so, but, okay, so, what else do we need to say about you? We're anti-dictator. What else do we need to say about that?
Very anti-dictator. That's it. Just, that was a ludicrous quote.
Authoritarian creatures
and stop excusing the shit he says.
Well, I mean,
Or spinning
and
it
what
to
we were
fit
talking,
your model.
we were talking about in planning this. You know, it does seem, whether you look at the national level or the local level, everything they're doing appears to me to be designed to inflame everyone. You know, because you know, Trump is losing his base. You know, I mean, I circled back to InfoWars this week. InfoWars is sounding very anti-Trump these days.
Yeah,
For real.
I've heard that.
Yeah.
And who's the other guy? Rogan.
Oh yeah, Rogan. Yeah.
He very clearly has been.
Yeah. So what? And then if there's a silver lining to all this, everyone's starting to coalesce. Like we're seeing left and right.
But there's some
agreeing.
Democrats still going along with it.
Well, we call them. Well, some people call them dinos. I would call them ribs. Republicans. And
Oh,
blue,
in name
blue
only.
face. Yeah, Republicans and blue face. What's that? But you know, so.
Or just
Yeah, well,
getting
that's
the
what it
dough
all
they
is.
need.
That's what
they
it all.
care about.
That's what it all is.
That's the most important
That's what
thing.
it all is.
Absolutely.
That's what it always is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I agree, because
yeah.
money is God. We said that last week.
Well, that to some people, not to me, but to some people, to many people. Yeah.
Many, many, many people.
Yeah, to too many people.
Okay, he wants to talk about Cracker Barrel.
I have feelings about Cracker Barrel. I am not okay with what is happening. I am not okay with the erasure of Southern culture. I'm just not. You
But
know?
they flipped it back.
Well, they walked it back, but have they flipped it back? I mean, they spend a lot of money on this, you know. But yeah, no,
They said they did.
Even the remodel.
Let me look it up.
Even
Oh
the
no,
remodel?
no, they've already done that. I think.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So look, let me just make it very clear. I'm the type of mofo. What did you say, crackerhead? Yeah, I'm a crackerhead. Yeah, that's what she wrote on the agenda because she, you know, it is cute. I was gonna say she thought she was cute, but it is cute. But no, you thought correctly. You were being cute. So yes, I'm a Cracker Barrel. I will drive an hour just to eat a Cracker Barrel, and I've done so recently actually. And so, but let me just make it very clear. If you don't have Uncle Herschel on your logo, and if I walk into the Cracker Barrel and the walls are white, I'm walking straight back out. I'm walking straight back out. I do not
thought you
want.
were there for the food.
No, I'm there for all of it. But yeah, the food's dropping off if I'm going to keep it a buck. The last time I went to Cracker Barrel, I felt like my hash brown casserole was reheated.
Oh, the last time I went was not nice either. We only stop when we travel on the interstate. But
Yeah.
let me tell you this real quick. Every time I hear Cracker Barrel, have you ever listened to Chris Rock? And the jokes he made, Cracker Barrel. I don't go, no Cracker Barrel. I just hear that every time you talk about it because it's so damn funny. It had okay.
I'm with it. Okay, yeah, I remember that from the 90s. Yes, I too remember the 90s.
Was it really that long ago?
Oh, definitely. Like probably
Cracker Barrel.
96, 98, something like that. But yeah, absolutely. It's been that long. But yeah, no, so I just have feelings. I feel like someone needs to get fired for this. I nominate the frumpy bitch with the ugly glasses.
Oh, the
And-
CEO lady.
Yeah.
What happened
And-
to people trying something new and being progressive, Sean?
Well, I never. That does not apply to Cracker Barrel. You know, and this is a trend. Like the erasure of Southern culture is a trend, and it's not acceptable. I think about the local high school. You know, the local high school does not look like it belongs in the South. You know, it looks like a mental facility from Alexandria, Virginia.
To me, it's just weird the way it's parked in front of the old high school.
Well, and the building is butt ugly. That's what I'm saying. The building is butt ugly. Y'all spent a fortune on that, and look at how hideous it is. And 10 years from now, it's gonna look even more hideous to us. I'm just saying. So, so like, no, I'm not down for this. Like, like we need to. Would you ever eat at a Cracker Barrel with white walls?
Cracker Barrel's just not on my radar. We stop once in a blue moon because you can get on Thursdays, I think, turkey and dressing, and you can't find that
Yes,
anywhere.
it's so good.
And they got really nice dressing, and
With
I
the
like their
cranberry
hash
sauce.
brown casserole.
And the cornbread and the biscuits.
The other
The
thing
biscuits
about
that they still make with lard, which is awesome.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
good. Also, the last time I was there, the waitress hit on my husband.
Well, that is, yeah, okay. Another reason to not have white walls in a Cracker Barrel, because what if you would have had to make that girl...
I can't imagine it
What
because
if
it
you
is
would
all
have
country
had,
store.
What
looking.
if you What if you would have had to make that girl bleed, and then there's white walls? You know what I'm saying? And then and then it's ugly. You know.
It's
So
like
it
what-
needs to stop coming for our culture.
It's kind of like once you have a couple of bad experiences in a restaurant, you tend not to go back. I haven't been to a Cracker Barrel in a long time because I did have a couple bad experiences. There's a local place here in town that I've had a couple of bad experiences at, and there's a couple of places that I won't be going back to.
That's a premium episode. Let's not say it on.
No, yeah, that would be a premium. True.
That's a premium episode. Okay, but those are my thoughts. I mean, it's like someone should get fired. They should sue that rebranding firm because they obviously are incompetent.
But it was changed back because of Gavin Newsom. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, thank you, Gavin Newsom. I appreciate that.
Because he said the new logo looks like a slab of velveted cheese. Change it back now.
Well, it looks awful. But also,
It
I'm
was
not inclined to
stupid.
give Gavin Newsom credit when the whole internet erupted. You know, and they lost $94 million in stock value. That's what really changed it. Yeah, the fact that the investor said no. You know.
Why would? But was there anything controversial about the logo in the first place?
I mean, if you hate white people, maybe. I mean, you know, like.
Yeah, but I
mean,
don't think that was like.
Uncle Herschel,
it wasn't
yeah.
like a. Who's Uncle Herschel?
He was the creator.
The founder.
The founder's uncle. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a
was
family value.
Okay. Were they freaking Confederate veterans or something?
Well, so what if they were? But
No, I'm just saying. What is
no,
there
they're not
anything-
old enough to.
I
have
don't
been
think there was
Confederate
anything to make this big controversy other than they just changed it. I don't think, but it sounds like
Yeah.
people were making it.
What do you,
there's
what
some
do you
ulterior
think?
motive.
Well, no, I didn't detect an ulterior motive. I just detected unforgivable incompetence. But what do people think the ulterior motive was?
I don't know, but why would people like Kid Rock or Scott Baio say, "I'm never eating there again"?
Kid Rock, Scott Baio. Well, that sounds like right wing culture war posturing. And they were probably both lying. So, but
Culture war posturing. That's
Yeah.
what I'm asking you. Is Cracker
Yeah,
Barrel
there's
a
some
victim of this culture war bullshit?
well, yeah, the controversy would not have happened in any other context but the current one.
Yeah, I think they were just
Yeah.
trying to change the logo and update it, like a lot of companies often do. And we don't like when AOL changed. I was like, really?
What's AOL? But
I hate you. I'm gonna call you Jen Poopy Pants.
millennials are the worst generation yet.
Honestly,
I will
man.
co-sign. Look, millennials and boomers are the two worst generations yet, and here we are stuck with each other. Okay, but it's all love. So.
But at least we got some damn common sense.
Well, Well, I think we need to rename. We need to rebrand that. We need to start calling it Uncommon Sense because the kids don't have it.
I know. I've actually,
It's
I feel
uncommon
really
sense now.
sorry for when I was like teaching high school. I feel bad for.
The kids are
I
out
mean,
all
they've
right.
got their phones and
Yeah.
unprotected sex. That's it. And then they wonder about the fallout. You know, like hello.
Let's move on.
Okay, yeah, you're right. Let's move on.
Okay.
Premium content. Premium.
Kick us off on the local front.
All right, let's. I'm going to reverse what we originally said because this will be short. All right, we talked about the YMCA last week and
Yes.
and what happened there that was awful, and there was a protest about it, and the YMCA, who is owned by the Hampton Roads Group. Oh God, now I need to pull it up on here, and I didn't have it up already.
Oh man.
Oh no, yeah, I did.
You
Here it
got
is
the
here.
email right there. Yeah.
All right, I got a formal statement, which I'm sure you've read in the paper, and apparently the local police, I left a message, but they didn't return any of my calls. But they did release a statement, and apparently the statement was disputed by those who were there. I can't really go into that because I don't have the people who were there. I'm having
Right.
difficulty getting interviews, let's put it that way.
Yes.
I'd really like to interview
Everyone involved.
well, McAdams. Miss Spooner is, she's got a lot on her page and
Yeah.
is open to that. Anyway, but the statement I got from the communications director at the YMCA, I felt like it was very heartfelt and gracious. She said the YMCA is committed to being a place where everyone feels welcome, safe, and supported. South Boston Halifax YMCA fell far short of this promise during a senior exercise class last week, and we offer our most sincere apology to Miss, and someone told me I'm pronouncing it incorrectly. It's not Maria, it's Mariah
Okay.
Spooner.
Yeah, I've heard Mariah.
Okay.
Other people that I know in the black community here locally say Mariah.
Yeah, so that was my bad on my part.
It's spelled like Maria.
Yeah. We do not condone our center's staff decision to call the police in this matter, nor is this consistent with our training and protocols. Ms. Spooner posed no threat, and we deeply regret the harm this action, along with the manner in which this situation was managed, has caused Ms. Spooner and the wider community. Upon learning of the incident, our corporate office immediately launched a thorough investigation connecting with everyone directly involved, including Ms. Spooner, as well as interviewing employees and class participants to gather a complete account of what transpired. We will continue to examine details with intentional focus on our policies and improvement. We are reviewing our approach to class reservations and seating and we will implement additional training for all employees to better prepare themselves to resolve conflicts with respect, equality, and sensitivity. Oh, sorry, equity, my bad. While we continue to improve, we are focused on taking meaningful steps to rebuild trust and foster healing at our Y and within the South Boston community. We are grateful to have an in-person meeting scheduled with Ms. Spooner and her son this week and to begin forging a pathway toward healing.
Wonderful.
I thought this was a great response. I thought it was very thoughtful, and I thought it was trying to connect to something to improve the situation.
Yes.
I don't think this was just corporate speak.
Yeah, I'm sure they workshopped it, but yeah, what this is a level of sincerity that is uncommon to corporate speak, and this is impressive. And I'm almost impossible to impress. I'm impressed by this. Yeah, they did this correctly.
Yeah, and I look forward to an update after they've met with Ms. Spooner, because apology, great. Training, great.
Yes.
I'm not sure if this is acceptable to Ms. Spooner. I mean, obviously, I can't speak for her, but it's certainly a step in the right direction.
So is it true that Ms. Spooner has said that she is not, as of yet, prepared to accept the apology? Is that true?
I can only go by what I've read on another Facebook page, so it's hearsay. I can't say that because we need to speak to her.
We would like to speak to Ms. Spooner, yes.
And she's very open to that.
Okay, great.
I know they were out there for, even after the apology came back, there was a couple people still out there protesting.
Okay, great.
So that kind of leads me to believe that maybe this wasn't good enough. I don't know. I don't want to.
Yeah, we don't know. Yeah, that's why we asked the question. Okay, so in other words, so you attended the protest.
I did. Well, the first day. I didn't have time to day 2 or day 3.
How many people were there?
I'd say 20, 25, and the news station came out.
And the news station came out, right? WSET, was it?
Yeah, and the Gazette has done a story.
Oh, great.
And
wonderful.
WSET has done a story.
Okay. And okay, that's fantastic. So so in other words, and are these being covered fairly by the mainstream press, in your opinion?
Well, I do think the South Boston Police didn't get it accurate.
Okay.
What they put out in their statement.
Okay. Did anyone push back on them?
A lot of the response to the articles were describing this as childish and we have more important things to work about, but it's like not right for you to speak about other people's feelings.
Right.
So while I read those, and of course everybody's entitled to their opinion, however, I think they're trying to invalidate or minimize someone else's feelings, which you really can't do. Because if I tell you, you said that and it hurt my feelings, you can't say, well, you're being ridiculous. At least have the conversation. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Were these commentators like local white people?
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
Well, okay. Well, we don't.
But
we don't
again,
know,
I can't say without pulling stuff up, and even then you don't know.
Maybe probably. Now, with the
one comment said they raised their voices. They clearly did not. You can watch the video. Nobody was screaming at each other.
Okay, so WSCT and the Gazette, do you think that they pushed back on the police statement at all?
No, I don't think they did.
Yeah, okay. I'm not surprised by that. Well, I also want to take a moment to just brag on you, because I think that you've done some fantastic investigative journalism over the course of the past week.
Oh, I don't think so.
You've been very proactive. You've contacted a lot of the people involved in the situation. You contacted Hampton Roads, like the YMCA people. And, the community is collectively, pushing this in this direction. So I will say I'm proud of the community, but specifically, Lisa, your participation in it helped the situation, in my opinion. And that's what good investigative journalism is all about. We let people tell their own stories. We don't tell them what their stories are. But when you're doing your job, people know that people who should be watched at all times, then know that they're being watched. And they behave differently when they're being watched. And so that's the whole point. And so I just wanted to brag on you and give you your laudits, because give you your propers, give you your applause, if I'm using too big of words.
I appreciate that, but everything pales in the comparison of what I felt like was her bravery.
Yes, absolutely.
To have to sit there and take that collectively by silence or words, either one.
And bravery that we rarely see here.
And it's also good to see people listen and try to help rectify the situation by empowerment. So, because you don't ever want things like that to go south that way again. I mean, and this is why I'm quite frankly kind of proud of this response from the Y, because that's their mission. Everyone belongs. That's what they stand for. It's their vision, their goal, everything. And this is what we need to do. And the most important thing to come out of this is for this community to stop with the racial bullshit, you know.
Yeah.
And you can say this incident was not racial. You say it all you want. But you know, it's like the elephant in the room.
Mm-hmm.
There is racism so hard in this damn county
It really
that needs to be exposed and addressed.
Yeah, this county's 40 years behind. It's shocking, you know. It's like a whole different world, you know. Like growing up 30 minutes up the road, like this place is totally different.
And I really want to bring up the noose and the man behind that at some point too.
Oh, this is a new one for me, but okay.
Oh God,
So,
it's just people are horrific to each other. Why is there so much hate in the world? Love is cool. Moving on.
okay, yeah, let's move on.
Yeah. So anyway, that's where we are there. All right. The next thing is this. Okay, board of supervisors thing.
Mm-hmm.
Again,
Mm-hmm.
this needs to be broken down into elementary things because
Okay.
I haven't been a participant in local government in a
Mm-hmm.
while. I've been a reporter in a past life.
Okay.
I understand how a lot of the processes work, but I'm going to tell you, if I ask the old lady coming in to me who is digging for change to pay for some dollar toilet paper, these are the people I want to reach and get fired up about this. It's
Right.
easy to do when you talk to them face to face. But
Yes.
I really want our platform to help with that too.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about the Board of Supervisors, some things going on and what's happening.
Yeah.
And here on our live feed, we're going to start calling all the principal players and see what kind of statement we can get, message we can. We're not going to get shit, I can tell you that right now. Nobody returns my calls, answer my emails,
What-
and
what
I'm
if it
asking
gets-
for interviews.
What if it gets laborious and boring, calling all these people? I'll try to do funny
No,
things.
because it's
I'll
going
try
to
to
be,
do funny
no,
things.
it's
while
going to
I'm
be
talking.
snip, snip, snip. It's going to
Okay.
be, they'll call you back. Leave a message because this is what I get,
Yeah,
or
that-
you just get ignored.
You're correct about that.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
I'll
it'll
do
be-
funny things while she's
We
making
have
phone calls.
8, 9, 10, 11 people we're going to try to contact. The
Oh,
8
wow.
board
That's a
members
lot.
and the 3 running against them.
Okay.
I have put some requests on Facebook to local people who are very vocal about it, and you know who you are, and they just say
Mhm.
maybe, or I don't think so, or they just ignore me. Usually I just get ignored.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to bring, now I do have one guy that's on board,
Uh-huh.
but I kind of felt like bringing the community and citizens' voice first and getting them to interview and speak, then addressing the board members, but that doesn't seem to be happening yet. Now maybe by next week that'll change and I'll have local people
Yeah.
say, yes, I want to come talk about it,
Yeah.
especially if we can do it remotely
Yeah.
and you just join wherever you are online. You know, like what's it called, Millennial? Teams, Zoom, whatever, those
Video conferencing.
those collective thingies. We're hoping we can do that on this new platform.
Yeah, okay.
That's what we'd like to do. But in the meantime, I want to start putting the feelers out for the Board of Supervisor members. So number one, let's start with the basics. What is the Board of Supervisors and what is their function to our community?
Okay. Well, the Board of Supervisors ostensibly has the authority, the local governing authority here in Halifax County. They have 8 members. Each of them, they have 9 members. 8 of them represent districts, so geographic regions within the county. One of them is an at-large member, meaning the entire county votes for that position, and that is a tiebreaker position. And
Pause. There's 8 board members, so we have 8
Well, there's
regions in the
9.
county? 9.
Yeah,
9.
there are
well,
8.
one of them's just a commissioner or whatever, the head, the boss, the whatever.
No, the chair is also a supervisor.
Okay, so we have
What?
9 regions?
We have 8 regions, and then we have one other additional person
Why?
because 4 plus 8 people is an even number, so you can end up with ties. So they have a tiebreaker, but the tiebreaker only votes when there's a tie. And
So the
whole
9th person is just a tiebreaker and
Yeah,
doesn't really
they
participate?
they only vote when there's a tie, and the whole
And they get paid for that?
they're getting paid something, yeah, but they still have to go to the meetings. You know, they still have to go to all the same meetings.
Okay.
And the whole county votes for the tiebreaker. So
Right.
so that's the only person that the whole county has voted for in
Okay.
this situation. On the Board of Supervisors, the whole county also votes for the sheriff and some other positions. But so okay, what else? Do you have other questions? So they vote.
All right, so we have 8 districts within Halifax County,
Mhm.
and each one of those have a Board of Supervisor member to represent their interests and wishes.
Yeah, and those people have to live in the district.
They're all voted in,
Uh huh.
And you can only vote in
Yeah.
your district.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then if the whole county can vote for the tiebreaker.
All right. What issues do they cover?
Well, any allocation of local tax resources and anything involving the conducting the local government, and
Right.
they're also over the school board. We do have an independent school board
That was my next question.
that is able to make school policy related decisions, but all of their local money, the board of supervisors controls anything funding related. So they control what the school's system's budget is going to be year to year when they do their budget reconciliations. And for example, the board of supervisors just voted to approve a $10 million athletic facility that they admit that everybody admits there's no money for. So that's the relationship between the independent school board and the board of supervisors. Ultimately, the board of supervisors control the money. So, okay, you're multitasking. Am I answering
No,
your question?
I'm pulling up who are our supervisors and what region do they cover, and I'm trying to find where I had the damn thing because I didn't flag it first.
Well, I wouldn't necessarily go to Facebook for that. I'd go through the Halifax County website.
Well, somebody had it listed very conveniently,
Okay.
and I thought it was this person, but I'm not seeing it here, so it might be this person.
Yeah.
Keep talking.
Well, anyway, since I'm going to keep talking, I don't know about if people have other questions about how local government works, but there are a few things that are very controversial about the local board of supervisors. They've been controversial for a few months now. A couple months ago, they voted to give themselves a raise, and people were very livid about it.
Yeah.
And this is part, I kind of want to at some point do an episode where we sort of focus on where we focus on what should we be doing with this new energy that we're seeing developing in our local region, because we've never had such a demand for activism as what we now have, and this year in 2025 it has never existed in this county like it's existing this year. Okay, great. It looks like you got
Yeah,
that.
well, I had to find a different thing. But
Okay.
see, the other ones had up there who's voting for what. There's
Mhm.
it sounds like there's 5 to 3. 5 people vote yes everything, 3 people vote no. That's what I was trying to get to.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had a little chart, and I can't find it
Yeah,
right
there
now.
are factions.
But, all right, so the issues that we have, number one was last month they voted, so this is the county government, is the bottom line, that oversees other governments like the school board. What does it have to do with municipalities? Like, what does it have to do with the council of the town of South Boston?
So South Boston is considered an independent town, but
So
it's
they're
really only semi-independent. But the reason South Boston
Autonomous from each other?
no, not really. They're semi-autonomous. So South Boston, town of South Boston, and town of Halifax each have an independent police force, and they each have an independent town council. Now, I believe there are 2 other town councils without independent police forces in the county, and I want to say one of them is Virgilina, but don't quote me on that. I don't know. Those are kind of like the minor things. I've never really been paying too much attention to those others. But town of South Boston has concerns. Town of South Boston has its own IDA. It has its own industrial development authority, as opposed to the county-wide one. It has its own town council that can make decisions governing the town itself, like within the geographic limits of the town of South Boston, but they don't have any authority outside of the town of South Boston, just like the police force. So the police force that responded to the YMCA was South Boston's town police force. But they have no authority outside the limits of the town of South Boston either. So does that all make sense? Did I get there?
I'm sorry, I wasn't listening. I was compiling information. I've got it now.
Civics
But
lesson.
I'll trust whatever you say. All right, I'm going to have to take my airplane mode off. I've got the information I need. All right, so yeah, there was the first issue about giving myself a $5,000 a month raise. Was it $5,000
That was
a month?
Yeah, $5,000 a month. Well, hold your horses. We got to cover that. We got to set the stage. before we start
Okay,
talking.
all right. Well, no, I wasn't. I was just going to, that's part of setting the stage, John.
Well,
All
we're
right.
going to get all these beeps in the meantime. But no,
True,
it's
that's
still an airplane.
Because I'm so popular, yes.
Well,
All right, so that was one issue. Now the next issue has been this new woman they've hired for $25,000 a month, and then there's a third issue: 2 people that used to
Yes.
work for the animal
control.
shelter control thing.
Authority, which is a
Are suing them.
which is a division of Halifax County Police Sheriff's Office. Yeah.
And the Halifax County Sheriff's Office is under the blanket of the Board of Supervisors?
Well,
Or it's the independent.
The sheriff is elected independently, but it's the same thing. Any local money is going to come through the Board of Supervisors.
Okay,
So,
all right.
Any local
Sorry, I
public
wasn't
money.
paying attention, but anyway. All
Okay.
right, so first let's start off by saying, and when we do remote, I really want to go to these meetings and cover them, if we can, now and again. Not all of them. Same with town councils.
We're probably not allowed to film them, but we're definitely allowed to.
Yes, you can. It's all on Facebook.
Okay, great. Okay, that's what we want to do. We can do it.
But see, that's when we're full-time and have monetary support.
Well, they already film it, so and it's public. They film it, and it's public property. So anything that they film, we can take their YouTube video from their YouTube page and clip it however we want
they're
to.
on Facebook.
Well, and they're not YouTube.
No, everything else seems on Facebook, and I've got that
Oh
pulled
God!
up.
Just another inclination of them being behind. But wherever the footage is posted,
There's probably some on YouTube too. I just haven't looked. I don't have time
I
to
think they
explore.
have a YouTube page. But wherever they post it, we can download it. We can clip it. We don't actually need to be redundant like that and do it. There are reasons to film sometimes during public comment sections because we can get a better angle of the face of the person talking.
Yes.
So there are reasons to film from time to time. But anyway, okay. So this was a segue. But
I just like everything face to face.
We need to flesh out the issues that we're concerned about.
But before we do that, let's introduce who they are. All right, they have a regular meeting at 6:30 every first month. They only meet once a month.
Yeah.
With all this important stuff. First Monday of every month at the County Administrator's Building. Oh, they have their own room, the Board of Supervisors meeting room. It's at Mary Bethune in Halifax.
Newly renovated.
Oh, it is. You're right. Agendas are available prior to the meeting. Minutes are available following approval. What does that mean? You have to get approved to get a copy of minutes? Once
have
they've
to approve
approved
their
it.
own meetings, and they usually do it at the next meeting.
All right, so you can get a copy of the minutes and the agenda. They'll give you a copy of the minutes and not charge you for it? That's surprising.
Well, they post them online, and you print them yourself.
Oh, and look, here on their page, which is Halifax County VA, all one word, .gov, and then there's a link to the Board of Supervisors, so anybody can look this up.
Yeah.
And there's an overview, which is kind of like what you just talked about, what their purpose is, highest degree of order and decorum, yada, yada, da, integrity and dignity, yada, yada, da. Feedback's very important, so they have where you can call, write, or whatever. More meeting details, yada, yada. Now let's get to the members. All right, the chairman, W. Bryant Claiborne.
Yes.
Here is his email and phone number. His term expires December of next year.
No, 2027, 2 years.
2 years, my bad, sorry. Stanley Brandon is the vice chairman. He expires December of this year. There's his email, phone number, so we're going to call these phone numbers.
Okay.
Maurice Riddle, term expires December 2027, so he's got another 2 years. Larry Roller. Oh, I know what I missed. The district. Okay, Claiborne is District 8. Where's that at?
I don't know. It's been a long time since I've seen them.
So if I want to vote for somebody or vote against somebody, how do I know what my district is? Just go to the damn polling booth and it'll tell you?
Well, when I worked at the Gazette, we actually had a map of the county with the different districts delineated, but I don't know how to access that map.
Okay, we need to get that and add it to our website. I would like to do that. All right, so we'll try to provide this information.
Figure that out.
And we'll try to hurry up and do it before the election, because there's one damn thing that frustrates me is when I go to vote for somebody, I'm like, who is this person? I never heard of them. What am I voting for? We need to educate ourselves.
Yeah,
and this is on every single one of you to do this.
And me personally, if I'm in that situation, which is very rare because I'm very detail obsessed, I will not vote. I refuse to just pick a name. I mean, I don't find that.
I just vote Democrat if I have to.
I don't find that ethical. I need to know who I'm voting for in order to vote. If I don't know anything about the candidate, I personally don't vote, and I think that's the correct choice. But anyway, let's go.
And if I get on here and say, well, I don't like Mr. Claiborne, he didn't talk nice to me one day, that's not a reason for you to vote for the person against him. Do your research. Figure out issues. What do they stand on? Someone has put out, and I'm going to get to that in a minute, a nice little chart about, well, they're saying don't vote for this one, don't vote for this one, but they do have a big thing about why and what they voted for you to understand. Anyway, we'll get into that in a minute.
Yeah.
All right, so we got Claiborne, District 8, Brandon, District 6, Riddle, District 1. Now we were up to Larry Roller that expires December 2025, and he's District 2. Mr. Pinnell, District 3, expires this year.
He's up this year.
Dennis Witt expires in 2 years, District 4. Robbie Smart, District 5, expires in 2 years.
The name's ironic. But I'll keep going.
You don't know him, do you?
I don't know. But
Okay.
keep going.
Keith McDowell, District 7, expires in 2 years, and Wayne Smith expires in 2 years. He's the tiebreaker.
Yeah, you thought I
So
was
he
lying.
doesn't actually represent a district.
He represents the whole county.
He represents the whole county,
Yes.
and his function is to be a tiebreaker.
Yeah, because there are 8 districts, so you can get an even number of votes and have a tie. So,
See, I think I know, when we first were starting to talk about this and set this up, he and I, prior to the show, I kept saying Board of Commissioners. Where I'm from in Georgia, when I was the editor of the newspaper, that's what it was called. We had the commissioners, which was the county, and then we had the municipalities, which were the councils.
Well, this past Monday, whatever hearing this was, that Jean was there. My friend Jean was there. She briefed me on it yesterday. I don't, that's not their regular meeting time. So I'm wondering what,
Was it a special meeting?
I don't really know what was going on with that. But,
usually they have special meetings in terms of staffing and employment
and that's
situations.
what they were doing.
And that may have been
That's
what it
what
was.
they were doing, yeah.
Now, what I want to show you, see how somebody put this, it's, I'm not.
Yeah,
gonna say
somebody's
names.
posted a graphic.
It's going around on Facebook. It's a graphic. And see, when we have our other platform, we'll be able to show you this as we're talking.
Yeah, so do you want me to read this?
Yes.
Just want to remind you of the contact info for the HC Board of Supervisors. The ones marked X voted for the exorbitant salary for the interim county administrator, finance director. And
we need to explain that first.
Yes, I agree. We should have been done.
Yeah, you're right. Well, there's
done
just
that.
so much to this.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Trying to break down what this is and who they are for people who don't follow this to know.
Well, people do need a civics lesson. I agree with that.
Yeah.
People
All right.
need a civics lesson.
All right, so we talked about the $5,000 salary. Are these the same people who voted for it? I don't know.
No, these are the people that voted for the $25,000 per month going to.
But that wasn't my question. My question was the prior thing, the $5,000 pay raise. Who voted yes for that?
Well, I have heard, but I have not fact checked that it's the same 5 people.
It's the same 5 people. So it's
Yeah.
like these 5. Hey, that kind of reminds me of the Supreme Court.
Oh, okay.
Because you've got certain people overriding anyway.
Well, but here's something to say about that, because you just said if I don't know who I'm voting for, I just vote straight Democrat. Most of these people are Democrats, just so you know.
Sometimes, yeah.
No, these individual people.
No, sometimes I vote straight Democrat.
Oh, okay, I
Not
got
all
it.
the time, yeah.
So I'm just saying that's not a good strategy, because
And I agree with you,
Yeah.
and that's my
Yeah.
own lack in researching issues,
Right.
because who the hell's got time for this? We're trying to pay for our dollar toilet paper.
Yeah.
We're surviving.
See,
It's true.
See, I do all my research in my sleep, and that's how I get away with it.
Right. All right. So, we're gonna. Well, I hate to say we're gonna assume that these same 5. We can't do that. But for the issue, let's talk about
I read the article, and these people's names were mentioned in that thing, and that thing about the $5,000.
Okay,
Yeah.
but what we need to do first is explain the issue of the exorbitant.
Yes.
All right, so let's.
Well, the previous county
right here.
finance administrator resigned.
All right, I'm going to use initials
Director of
because
Finance.
I've talked to him,
Okay.
Mr. JS.
Okay.
We've talked, and him and many other people. A guy whose name starts with C, a girl whose name starts with K. There's several community members who I really want to get interviews with to talk about this as well, that have posted so much. But anyway, let's read this first paragraph so that you understand what this crazy salary is all about. Go ahead.
Our infamous Board of Supervisors voted to make Ms. Tamika Morgan the emergency interim county administrator and interim finance director. The best part is they voted to pay her $25,500 per month to work on behalf of the Halifax County residents 2 days a week. Yes, you read that right. $25,500 a month to work 8 days per month. I don't know Miss Tamika Morgan, who's in Richmond, Virginia.
Where do you see Tamika?
Well, I know the facts of the case.
Okay, all right.
At all, and I'm sure she's highly. I'm just saying, if you want to call her. At all, and I'm
Good
sure.
idea.
Yeah, call her and tell her she's robbing us blind, and we're not okay with it. And
Hold up.
and that when we
Finish the
elect,
sentence.
and that when we elect people, we're going to sue her ass off. But Morgan, and I'm sure she's highly qualified. I'm not. I haven't met her. But how do we expect her to do everything that our former director of finance and county administrator did when they were working 80+ hours a week between them, being paid way less, by the way?
And we don't have to read the rest.
Okay.
So that's the situation. They have hired a woman to fill 2 full-time jobs at 2 days a week and pay her $25,500. How much is that? What is that for an annual salary?
Over $300,000.
That's insanity.
That's more than senators make. It's yeah, and then in addition to the insanity, she's not local at all, so all of this money is leaving.
Mecklenburg County, I heard.
No, I've heard she's in Richmond. I don't
okay.
know. She's not local at all. Well, maybe she's employed through Richmond and works in Mecklenburg because so this money is leaving our county, you know, and in addition to that, she works remote. So for all we know, she's working at home in her pajama pants. So working, you know. And so, I mean, this is just outlandish, and this is why I say some of this stuff is beyond belief. Like,
Where do they come up with these numbers?
Like, I'm almost wondering if, well, I mean, you know, is it kickbacks and paddywhacks? You know, is somebody getting something slipped back to them, as we know happens sometimes?
Something. There's people here who make $25,000 a year.
And less, you know, I mean.
And bust their ass.
That's right, yeah. And so, I mean, it's just an absolutely outlandish thing, and that's why I'm saying some of this stuff is beyond belief. It almost seems like somebody behind the scenes is trying to inflame the public, and they're using these imbeciles to do it.
This is the important point he mentioned earlier that we discussed that I thought was a great thing. But before we get into that, so that's the issue here, and people are just like, see, look at that comment. Oh, hell no. You know, I mean, it goes on and on.
Yeah.
All right, but
it's beyond belief.
And then
it's corruption beyond belief.
There's a third thing that's come up. 2 people that worked for the animal thing are suing them.
Mm-hmm.
They were fired by the Board of Supervisors,
mm-hmm.
so now they're suing them. And apparently they're suing the same 5 that voted for this crazy pay.
Good.
So see, I like to synopsize issues into little stupid headlines like crazy pay and animal shelter thingy, and just so you know.
You speak in tweets, okay.
I do, and at a very dumb level.
Oh, you said it, not me. All right.
Taking your word.
You said it, not me.
All right, so
do we want to call out the 5 people who
yes,
voted
we
for
do.
this? Okay,
yes,
great.
we do.
And notice the tiebreaker did not vote because there was no tie to break.
Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There they are. So we've got Keith McDowell, whose term expires in 2 years, so he can't be voted out. But now somebody's brought up a way to impeach these people.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which we can get into that in a minute.
Well, we have to have them impeach themselves, basically, and that's something. But anyway.
Well, would you say this is a gross derelict of duty? It's damn sure not gatekeeping your tax money.
I think everything they do is a gross derelict of duty. I think I've never seen them not be derelict. That's my opinion.
I was going to make a joke, but I won't. Do you watch, who's the guy, the Derelict My Balls, the movie?
Derelict My Balls.
Yeah, the movie.
Let's stick to
anyway,
the topic.
I'm sorry.
Let's stick to the topic.
All right, you're right.
Okay.
All right, so Keith McDowell, his term doesn't expire. He's District 7, doesn't expire until 2027. So in order to make a change there, if that's what people are intent on doing, you'd have to go another route.
Yeah.
Mr. Pinnell expires this year.
Uh-huh.
Who's running against him?
See, this part I don't know because I haven't been keeping track of this stuff. But what's unfortunate is that they're doing all this now that it's too late to enter the race. You know.
No, there's people running against them.
Well, I know, but they're not favored to win. But okay, so Maurice.
How do we know that?
Because these people keep getting reelected year over year. But and their districts are reputed to be gerrymandered.
Oh, I know who's running against Pinnell. It's Jeff Oaks.
Oh, Jeff Oaks. Okay, great. But I highly doubt he's gonna fare well in that district.
Well, I would like to speak to both Mr. Pinnell and Mr. Oaks.
Yeah,
That's
obviously. Obviously.
And like I said, if time permits, I feel like we need to leave a message to these 8 today.
Okay.
And let's do it online so people can see the process.
Yeah, I think we're already over an hour. But okay.
Are we?
We could do it as a separate episode.
Sorry.
Yeah.
That's probably a good idea.
Uh-huh.
In fact, I might want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Dennis Witt, he did not vote for it.
Yeah.
Robbie Smart did not vote for it.
Right.
Now to the second layer here.
Mr. Roller did not vote for it.
Mr. Roller did not vote for it, and the last 3 did. Maurice Riddle, his term is good until 2027, so there's no one to vote against him.
He looks like a creep to me.
Oh.
No
personal attacks.
Look at the picture. I'm not attacking. I'm describing. But
Bryant Claiborne.
Yeah, William Bryant Claiborne, the chairman.
All right. There's nobody running. He's done expire, and then Stanley Brandon. All right. So Brandon, who's running against him?
That I don't know.
I do, but I'd have to dig it up somewhere.
Yeah.
So that's, and then we also have. All right, you said the tiebreaker's not here, but hang on, there's 3 people running, so the tiebreaker dude must be the one
that's up for re-election.
who's up for re-election. Go back. Tiebreaker.
Well,
dude.
didn't you say no, you said Riddle, McDowell, and Claiborne are up for re-election. That weren't didn't that
No, these are the ones not up for re-election.
Oh my, you're confusing me. Okay,
Pinnell
where's the
and
pic-
Brandon.
Can you pull up? Okay.
Yes, I can.
The image. Okay.
Pit smell. Wear deodorant.
No.
You're just
but-
excited
huh?
and burning the energy and.
Well, the room is muggy. I mean, the room is not.
I agree. I should turn it
humid.
up. All right.
So-
Not up for voted for all this mess. Not up for election. Voted for this mess.
Okay,
Up for election.
Hubert
Not
Pinnell's up for election.
Not.
And then
is. So only two.
Roller's up for election, but he's been voting the way we would have him vote. Yeah.
Rephrase that.
He's been voting the way that is the majority of the citizens of Halifax County support.
More popular. There
Yeah.
you go. We can't say we want somebody to vote this way because that's not our position.
Why not?
I'm not going to tell you how to vote. Vote however you want. I'm just trying to educate you and tell you to research.
No, I'm going to tell these supervisors stop voting for this corrupt nonsense. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I'm not
we're
doing
We're
that.
allowed to have opinions.
I'm
on
saying educate and make a good decision.
that. Yeah.
But we want to present all those pieces to you so you can make a decision.
No, I'm not
So-
telling people who to vote for out there. I'm telling, Mr. Roller is on
Is he the
issue by issue.
Is he the only one? That's 27. That's all right. He's the only one. So the third one
Yeah.
up for election is Roller.
Yeah.
But he voted against all the nonsense. See, so we need to call
this
him
year,
nonsense.
This year,
votes.
the 2025 nonsense, Mr. Roller, Mr. Witt, and Mr. Smart have been voting the way that is with the people of Halifax County and with the popular positions that the people of Halifax County are expressing.
Based on our observations of commentary on social media.
And the fact that we're having more backlash against these than you've ever seen in this county before.
We need to have that caveat.
Yeah.
So, all right. So hang on. I got one more piece of information here.
Mm-hmm.
The running against them. I have that information here. Damn it. Go back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Jeff Oakes is running against Mr. Pinnell.
Okay.
Monty Thompson.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure which one he's running against.
Okay.
Thompson. And the other one is James Gordon.
Uh-huh.
Gorden. So they're running against Brandon and Roller. So we need to get straight who's who.
Yeah.
Because you're saying you want to support whoever's running against
No,
Brandon.
I haven't decided who to support yet because
Okay.
I don't know who these
All right.
people are.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. That's what I like to hear.
Yeah. No, I
All
never.
All right.
Yeah.
So anyway, to get back to it, we have 5 Board of Supervisor members who are voting for the nonsense,
Mm-hmm.
and 2 of them are up for re-election. So
Mhm.
what we want to do is bring all of these people on here for a remote interview, including the people running against them, to get what's our goal? Justification for these votes and why they're doing this nonsense?
Well, I mean, they will say they are politicians, and they're politicians that have never really had to fight for their position. So we can't expect too much of them. We just there's no expectation. Just we'll ask the questions and see what develops.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
that sounds good.
Yeah.
That covers everything there. Because you're right, we've done this over now. Let's split this into a second one where we do these phone calls and try
Yeah, I
and
agree
try
with
to
that.
get these bugs.
Well, let's talk about what's the animal control people suing. Last thing, the other thing that's controversial. These 5 people are being sued by who?
Shit, I have to look that up. I'm sorry.
Never mind. Well, we can continue that on
2
to
former
the next thing.
employees.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and we need to
of
delve
animal
into
control.
that.
Halifax
Yes,
County animal control.
that were fired. We don't even know why.
Well, I'll
really.
tell you what, we're going to do a second stream.
Yeah.
Are we going to do it today? Because we're getting close
I
to
don't
time.
have time today. I have to
Okay,
work.
so we'll do it later this week, and then we'll start that one off with,
I can
with
do
the
tomorrow
summary.
night.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, we'll start. Yeah, I'm good with that.
All right, tomorrow
so
night we're going
tomorrow
to do
night,
part
yeah.
2.
Yeah, and we'll start off with the animal control controversy, and then we'll go into. But tomorrow night, it doesn't make sense to call these people's offices. You know?
No, we can call them during the daytime and try to set it up. Well, no, I kind of want to record calling because it's
Yeah,
really
that's what you wanted to
interesting.
do. But that sounds like premium content to me. Just
You know.
saying. Just saying. That's
Okay.
it. So we can give people a sample of the type of stuff we'll do behind the paywall. Yeah, we can do a freebie. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So the bottom line is we're going to spin this off into a second episode with no
Uh-huh.
flies tomorrow night to delve deeper into this and try to get more engagement. Maybe we'll have that.
Well, it'd be
platform.
great if we're going to do it in the evenings where we can't call people during the daytime. Then we'll try to maybe see if we can line up a guest. who might want to talk about this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm off tomorrow, but I have
Uh-huh.
court at 1:30, so.
Well, I'm fine with whatever.
Okay, so,
Yeah.
you know, okay. all right.
Off camera content. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Great. So, do we have any closing thoughts to wrap up this episode?
I don't. Not really.
Well,
I just am so
against,
eager to get a better platform.
we're against dictators, and just in general, you
Yes,
know,
definitely.
your elected leaders work for you, and people, and I don't even, yeah, they do, and I don't even.
No, your whole theory of all this Board of Supervisors stuff is to upset and inflame people as part of a bigger picture. You never mentioned that. You mentioned it. But
Well,
you didn't
that's
go into
something we
it.
should continue. I mean, we don't.
On the next one.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, yeah.
okay.
We'll dive into those theories.
It's a great theory.
So dramatic.
It's a great theory.
So dramatic. I thought I was the flamer here.
Yeah.
But so.
It's a good theory. See
It
if
is
I
a good theory.
compliment you again.
Oh God. Okay. Yeah. This is a mess at this point. Let's just stop it.
Yeah. All right. See you tomorrow.
We're
or
against
later,
dictators.
alligator.
We want
Yeah.
we want elected people to be responsive to their constituents. That's not too much to ask.
Yeah, because it starts at the local level, and we really want to educate or
Yeah.
train or get or just expose people
It's their
so
job.
that they
work
don't
for
have to
us.
worry about the dollar toilet paper so much and can get involved in this. Okay. Much love.
Use corn cobs. Okay. Bye.
How do I end?